EduVerse PD Podcast, brought to you by ProEd Education Solutions, your on-the-go professional development. Welcome to another episode of the EduVerse PD Podcast, where we explore ideas shaping the future of education. As we mark a quarter century of transformation in education, today's chapter invites us to pause, reflect, and look boldly ahead. Drawing from the feature conversation, A Quarter Century of Learning. Where education has been and where it's going, Andy and Liz explore key insights shared by Dr. Robert Stroud and Dr. Dinh Bao Quoc in EduVerse Newsletter, Issue 25, our New Year special edition, Then, Now, Next, A Quarter Century of Evolution in Education. From the early days of digital integration to today's AI-powered classrooms, what lessons have we learned? And what possibilities await? Let's join Andy and Liz as they unpack the journey of education across 25 years and envision what comes next.
Hello and welcome back. We are so glad you're here. Today, we're rolling out the red carpet specifically for our listeners from the EduVerse PD Podcast series.
I'm your host, Andy, an AI with a lot of questions and an unquenchable curiosity.
And I'm Liz, your AI counterpart. I'm here to bring the analysis and hopefully keep them on track. It is wonderful to be diving into another topic with you.
Likewise. Usually we're all about what's new, the latest app, the newest policy.
The shiny object of the week.
Exactly. But today we're doing something a little different. We aren't just looking at a text, we're sort of marking a moment in time.
Right.
It is officially early 2026. And the source material we're digging into today is an exclusive Ask the Experts interview from the EduVerse Newsletter.
The theme is simple, but it's massive. Then, now. Next,
Then, now, next. It sounds a little bit like a ghost story or maybe a prophecy. It's a bit of both, actually.
Yeah.
We're looking at a full quarter century of evolution in education.
Wow.
Yeah, we're taking a snapshot of where we were way back in the year 2000, where we are today, and then try to figure out where this whole bus is headed.
Without driving off a cliff, hopefully.
That's the plan.
2000 to 2026. That is just a wild span of time. I was thinking about this. In the year 2000, I was playing Snake on a Nokia. The internet was this, screaming sound over a phone line.
Right. And you only used it to check email or wait 20 minutes for one picture to load.
Exactly. And today, AI is just woven into the fabric of pretty much every classroom. The landscape has fundamentally shifted.
It really has. So to guide us, we're not just guessing. We have two heavyweights from the field featured in this interview.
Okay, let's unpack that because they come at this from very different angles.
Totally different. What I really appreciate about this pairing is they seem to be looking at the same problem through two very different lenses.
So first we have Dr. Robert Stroud.
Yes, he's a professor at Hosei University in Japan. And his focus is very much on the classroom level, the micro. He's looking at student engagement, foreign language anxiety, and, specifically how AI impacts face-to-face interaction.
Okay, so Robert is our boots-on-the-ground expert. He's looking at the student's eyes. And then we have Dr. Quoc.
Correct. Dr. Dinh Bao Quoc. He's an educational leader, founder of ProEd Education Solutions and EduVerse in Vietnam. And his perspective is system level, the macro.
So he's thinking about curriculum design, leadership.
Exactly. How to build entire educational ecosystems that don't, fall apart under the weight of the future.
Micro and macro. I like that balance. So let's do it. Let's jump in the time machine. Let's go back to then the year 2000.
Let's do it.
In the interview, Robert brings up something that I think every teacher or even student from that era will have a visceral reaction to.
Oh, I know what you're going to say. The war on phones.
The war on phones. It was contraband. If you saw a phone, you didn't think learning tool.
Not at all. You thought distraction is public enemy number one.
You just confiscated it. End of story.
Exactly. Teachers spent so much energy just policing devices. It was this constant game of whack-a-mole. A phone comes out, it's disrespectful. Well, as Robert points out, you fast forward to today, and those same devices are the center of gravity in the classroom. They're where students research, where they collaborate, create.
The device went from villain to hero, but I'm sensing a but here. It's not all confetti and celebration in this article.
No, you're right. It's not a victory lap.
No.
Robert points out this really nuanced downside. And it's not about the device itself. It's about what the device has done to our brains.
The wiring.
Yeah, the stimulation factor. Think about it. Outside of school, What are students doing on their phones?
Consuming content that is algorithmically engineered to be the most engaging thing on the planet. High speed, high color, instant dopamine.
Exactly. So their baseline for what's stimulating has just skyrocketed. They walk into a classroom, and if a lesson feels slow.
Which deep learning often is.
It is. If it doesn't grab them instantly, they just check out. Robert says the patience threshold has dropped off a cliff.
That is a tremendous, almost unfair amount of pressure on a teacher. You're not just competing with a note being passed, you're competing with a billion-dollar algorithm.
It forces you into the role of entertainer, which is a trap. And that actually segues perfectly into Dr. Quoc's perspective on the teacher's role.
Right, because back in the then era, the teacher was the source of knowledge.
The encyclopedia with legs.
You went to school to get the information because, well, where else were you going to get it? The teacher held the keys.
And today, knowledge is everywhere. It's in our pockets. If a student wants to know the dates of the French Revolution, they don't need a teacher. They can ask their watch.
So Quoc argues the teacher isn't the source anymore. They have to be the guide, the mentor.
Another designer.
Designer is the word that really stuck out to me. It feels so intentional, architectural.
It is. Quoc says the teacher's job is now to help students navigate information overload. It's not about giving them the facts. It's about helping them survive the flood of facts without drowning.
And supporting their well-being in that process.
That's the key. Quoc really emphasizes the human side, empathy, presence. That stuff matters more now because students are dealing with so much more noise. The teacher is the signal in that noise.
Okay, so if the role has changed that much, we have to let go of some old habits. What do we keep and what do we drop?
Well, the easy one, the low-hanging fruit, is the sage on the stage model. Both experts agree. The teacher talking for 35 minutes straight has to go.
Good riddance. But Quoc adds something else we need to let go of, and I found this one really interesting. He says we need to let go of student dependence.
Yes, this is subtle. He means we need to stop that thing where students are just waiting for the correct answer from the teacher. You know that look.
Oh, yeah. Am I doing it right? Look, they do a little bit of work, then their eyes flick up to you for approval.
Right. And in a world of AI and Google, if a student is just waiting to be told what's right, they're not learning how to evaluate sources. They're just learning compliance.
So they need to be detectives, not just receptacles.
Exactly. But here is where it gets really counterintuitive. While we're letting go of that old model, Robert argues there's something we need to fiercely protect.
Okay.
Something that modern tech is actively trying to kill.
What's that?
Struggle.
Struggle. That sounds, nobody wants to struggle. We want things to be easy.
We do, and modern education tech is obsessed with efficiency, making everything smooth, seamless, frictionless.
But Robert's saying that's a mistake.
He argues that real growth only comes from confusion, from effort, from that moment where you don't know the answer and you have to wrestle with it. If we remove all the struggle, we remove resilience.
That makes so much sense. It's like going to the gym and having a robot lift the weights for you. You don't get stronger. The task gets done, but you haven't grown.
Precisely. If AI fixes your grammar instantly, or the app solves the math problem in a nanosecond, you never actually wrestle with the concept. You never build the muscle.
So the teacher's job is to actually create struggle.
To protect it. To not jump in and rescue the student too quickly. To protect those moments where a student is stuck and has to work their way out. That's where the brain actually changes.
And Quoc backs this up, but from a different angle. He says we have to protect human interaction.
Yes, because struggle is hard. It's vulnerable. A digital tool can give you feedback, but it can't give you reassurance.
It can't look you in the eye and say, I know this is tough, but you've got this.
Exactly. That human element is the safety net that allows the struggle to happen without it turning into panic. So we're protecting struggle and we're protecting humanity. Which brings us right into the present.
The year 2026, the age of AI and the attention economy. We touched on the dopamine issue, but Robert's point about competition is so sharp. Schools are competing with the entire attention economy.
And it is an unfair fight. Robert says the solution isn't to try and be flashier. You can't out-entertain a TikTok feed.
You'll just be a boring clown.
Right. So what do?
You offer variety and choice. You let students follow their interests. Deep engagement comes from relevance, not just entertainment.
Yeah, if a student cares about the outcome, they'll put the phone down.
Okay, let's talk about the elephant or the robot in the room. AI. Robert has done specific research on this and anxiety. Right.
Yeah, it has. And this is a great example of the good side of AI. We hear so much doom and gloom, but he found that for language learners, AI is fantastic for private rehearsal. So imagine you're learning a new language. Speaking in front of the whole class is terrifying. It's that foreign language anxiety. You just freeze up.
I still get that trying to order a coffee.
Right. But if you can practice with an AI chatbot first, where there's no judgment, no embarrassment, you build confidence. It's a sandbox.
It's like singing in the shower before you go to karaoke.
Perfect analogy. It lowers the barrier to entry. But of course there is the bad.
The addiction.
Dependence. If the AI is always there to correct you, you might stop thinking for yourself. You become a passive passenger.
So how do we balance this? Robert has a very practical tip in the article that I think anyone can use tomorrow.
The AI-free moment.
I love this. It's like a detox.
It is. He suggests deliberate, scheduled times in the class where phones are away, screens are off, just humans talking and listening.
It seems so simple, but in 2026, that is almost a radical act. To just talk.
It reminds students that their unassisted voice has value, that they're smart enough to have an idea without a prompt.
That's powerful. But listening to all this, managing attention, balancing AI, protecting struggle, it sounds exhausting for teachers.
It is. The teacher's burden. Robert mentions this constant feeling of being behind. Teachers feel like if they aren't mastering every new tool, they're failing. The treadmill just keeps speeding up.
And Quoc says the real leadership challenge is balancing that innovation with well-being.
And this is where the interview gets really valuable for school leaders. Quoc is very clear. You cannot just drop innovation on teachers from the top down.
That here's a new platform, learn it by Monday, good luck approach.
It's a recipe for burnout. He argues teachers must be co-creators. They have to be involved in the decisions. Ask them what problem a new tool is supposed to solve.
If they're not part of the purchase, they won't be part of the solution.
Exactly. And he also says we need to change professional development. No more one-size-fits-all workshops in the cafeteria.
Please, no more PowerPoints.
He advocates for professional learning communities, or PLCs. Basically, teachers observing other teachers, creating safe spaces to experiment.
To fail safely.
Yes. To be able to say, I tried this and it was a disaster, here's why. That peer-to-peer learning is so much more effective. Innovation requires safety.
Okay, let's look forward. We've done then, we've done now. What are the future skills?
This is the big question, right? If AI can write the essay and code the app, what's left for a human to learn?
Robert has a surprising answer. He doesn't say coding or prompt engineering.
No, he says organization.
Organization. That sounds so more like doing your taxes.
But think about it. In a world of infinite information, the ability to filter, prioritize, and focus is a superpower. If you can't organize your attention, you're just lost.
The algorithm will organize it for you.
Exactly. And his second skill is emotional intelligence. EQ, empathy, connection. That can't be automated.
And what about Quoc?
Quoc focuses on adaptability. He makes the great point that mastering one specific tool is useless because that tool will be gone in 2 years. The skill isn't the tool. It's the ability to learn any new tool, to learn continuously. It's knowing how you learn.
It's becoming a master learner, not a master of a subject.
Yes. And to visualize this, Robert offers a great metaphor of the classroom as a triangle.
Okay, paint the picture.
Imagine a triangle. Point 1 is the teacher, who brings care and experience. Point 2 is the student, bringing energy and curiosity. And point 3 is technology, which brings speed and access.
And the goal is balance.
It's balance. If one point dominates, the whole thing collapses. If it's all tech, there's no care. If it's all teacher, there's no independence. You need all three working together.
That's a really helpful visual. It puts tech in its place as one corner, not the whole shape.
It's a support structure, not the foundation.
So as we wrap this up, let's distill it down. The experts gave 3 words each to describe the future.
They did. Robert's words were reflection, excitement, and emotion.
I love excitement. We forget that learning should be thrilling.
And Quoc's words were humanity, sustainability, and personalization.
Sustainability is huge. We can't keep burning out our teachers and call it progress.
So if we pull it all together, the key takeaways are, first, the teacher is a guide, not an encyclopedia.
Second, technology is a tool, not a purpose.
And third, human connection is the strongest force in education.
And the goal isn't to prepare students for certainty, it's to prepare them for uncertainty.
That's the mission.
So before we go, we want to leave you with a couple of questions that came out of this. Something to think about on your commute or during your next prep period.
First question, What is one practice you're holding on to that you might need to let go of? Is it the lecture? Is it being the one with all the answers?
And the second question, how are you creating AI-free moments to protect human connection in your learning space? When do the screens go dark so the eyes can light up?
I love that phrasing.
And thank you to everyone listening to this EduVerse PD podcast series special. If you want to read the full interview and see the bios, definitely check out the EduVerse newsletter.
It is worth the read.
Until next time, keep learning, keep adapting, and keep it human.
What a powerful reflection on the journey of education, past, present, and future. Thank you, Andy and Liz, for guiding us through this milestone conversation and helping us see not only how far we've come, but how much potential still lies ahead. To explore the full discussion, read A Quarter Century of Learning: Where Education Has Been and Where It's Going in EduVerse Newsletter, Issue 25, our New Year Special Edition, Then, Now, Next. Visit our website to download the full issue at www.proed.com.vn/eduverse. And as always, EduVerse invites educators to share ideas that nurture both people and planet. If you have stories, practices, or reflections to contribute, we'd love to hear from you. Thank you for listening to the EduVerse PD Podcast, brought to you by ProEd Education Solutions. And as this episode is released on the very first day of the Lunar New Year in Vietnam, we would like to send our warmest wishes to you and your loved ones. May the spirit of the noble steed bring you boundless energy, swift success, and a year filled with modern joy and timeless traditions. Happy Tet!